Hey everyone, on the table today I'm going to be discussing how far any level of real estate investor can stretch $1,000 in this current real estate market. During this episode I'm going to break it down how I think the money should be allocated and what type of properties you should be looking for based on this budget. With that being said, let's get into this episode.
Hi, I'm Victor Maas, real estate attorney, broker, and investor, but no one really cares. What they care about is that I'm a problem solver. So that's what I do for a living, is solve problems.
I'm going to show you to find deals you never even knew existed.
Deals are everywhere, but you got to get off your butt.
One deal is all it takes to change your life. Victor freaking Maas, that's right.
How much should any investor have saved before they attempt to invest in their first property? The truth is you really don't need to save any money to get started in real estate investing. That's what makes it an amazing career field. You could start with nothing and build an amazing business in a short period of time. You just have to know where to look, how to look, and what to do once you find these deals. So if you did have an opportunity to save $1,000, this is what I would do if I was starting from scratch. First and foremost, I would get some sort of laptop that I can do internet searching for properties and research whether they're worth pursuing or not. You don't have to get the fanciest laptop, but you do need a clean, fast laptop. A lot of these things I'm going to be talking about you can buy used, whether at some local stores that sell used equipment or off the Craigslist and then getting them serviced before you get started on them. But I would definitely start with a laptop. Second thing I would start with is fast internet. I have the Google Fiber. It's the fastest internet, and I'm going through a lot of websites trying to get through as much information as quickly as possible so I can make a determination. Is it worth pursuing or not a particular lead? You might want to also get a printer. I use the HP LaserJet printers, the 4200 or 4300 series. They print out super fast, super professional, and probably the most expensive part of that is not the printer but the toner. So you might get lucky and find a good printer with a good size amount of toner or ink in there, so you don't have to replace it so quickly. They go about $200-300 per cartridge. I would also get some notepads. I would get some folders, some pens, some other little office things that you might need. You definitely want to work on a desk, not at the kitchen counter or maybe a dining room table unless no one's ever in there. This is all you need to really get started as far as the infrastructure of starting as a real estate investor. Now, if you had a little bit more money and some time, I would highly recommend you get some form of education. See, a lot of folks think real estate is all numbers, and it can be. But truth is, at the end of the day, what you're doing is trying to find a property that makes a seller in trouble and a buyer who's, let's say, a rehabber come together. You're basically a matchmaker between two parties. Now, eventually you want to become a flipper, and then rehab and flip it. Well, then that's a different, animal on in itself. But truth is, initially, when you first get started, you don't need a lot of money. You become a matchmaker. You're actually not even a real estate investor. You are a problem finder and a problem solver. We find problems. We don't buy houses, we buy problems. So get an education. We teach here at Surya, here in San Antonio, all sorts of education. We teach you where the leads are at. We teach you how to find sellers. We teach you how to put a deal together. There's so many exit strategies. We go over that stuff with you. We offer 3 days of training on video plus 2 in person. In fact, I'm recording this on a Wednesday, and tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, I'm going to have 10 students come to my office, and for 2 straight days we're going to answer all those questions that they have. This way they get out there and know where to look for the deals, know how to find the sellers who don't want to be found, or if they've passed away, how to find their heirs or their family, and then how to put a deal together. See, when we approach folks, it's not about, hey, can I offer you $100,000 for your property? It's, let's make an assessment of what the problems are here so we can help you, and then you can get a fresh start. It's a different approach than a lot of investors who just throw money at problems. So other things to get into as far as when you first get started is certain websites to learn how to find people. We usually recommend skip searching companies out there, and we teach our students which ones to go after. As far as marketing, you probably can't do a lot with $1,000, but you can do driving for dollars in the neighborhoods or zip codes that your buyers want. So if you have a wholesale buyer and he wants a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in a nice neighborhood, nothing too fancy, 200,000 and 300,000, for example, is the sweet spot right now in San Antonio. I'd go driving in those type of neighborhoods, and I would just write down all the rundown vacant properties, and I may drive for 4, 5, 6 hours. I don't know, and I'm going to try to put between 40 to 100 leads on a spreadsheet, and then work through them to see if they're worth pursuing. It's another training day where I teach folks: is it a deal or is it not a deal? Who owns it? Who doesn't own it? A bunch of stuff like that. So you can add other items to this wish list of yours, but the truth is if you just have $1,000, this is a great way to start in real estate investing. So a lot of real estate flippers are looking for a particular type of property. They don't want to put $100,000 into buying a property and another $100,000 into rehabbing it. It's very capital intensive. But if they can buy a house from you for $100,000 that you bought for $80 on paper, they buy it from you for $100, they put $30 into it. Now they're in it for $130. They sell it for $180, $200. After closing cost commissions, they might make between $30,000 and $50,000. That's what makes them happy. So no one cares what I want. So go find properties that they want. Every community, every city is different. So look at what rehabbers want. And if you're not sure, go to Real Estate Investor Association type meetings. Talk to title companies that close investor deals. See what they want. See if they'll put you in touch with a few folks. Please, 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 don't go after rehabbers and say, hey, can you take me out to lunch, or can I take you out to lunch? They get these hit-ups all the time. Instead, hey, can I get your email? I'm getting into real estate investing. I'd love to know what you want so that I can now put my money into the type of deals that you're looking for. So if I go waste $1,000 on deals they don't want, it was all for naught. Big time, big time, big time. Talk to people who need your help. That's your really big job, is to find people in trouble and put them in touch with folks that want to buy those type of properties. So the best type of homes I've found in my community are 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 2-car garage on a quiet street, the worst house in a good community. The worst house in a good community. So if you have a limited budget, it doesn't matter if you're going to throw $5,000 in advertising. If you don't know what you're doing, you've got to be very frugal with the way you spend your money when you first get started. Later on, you can drop $5,000, $10,000, $50,000 in advertising, but really until you know what your community or your local rehabbers want, it's a waste of money. It really is. In a previous episode, I think it was episode 121, I talked about, can you build wealth with real estate investing with a $1,000 budget? 100%. Not 99, not 98%, 100%. But here's the thing, even if you listen to what I was just talking about earlier about buying the right equipment, a computer, a printer, good internet, paper, folders, you name it. Even if you did all that and you put zero energy into it on a daily basis, you're going to fail. If all you do is work on it for an hour a week, you're going to fail. Imagine if I wanted to run a marathon and I chose to only work on it for 1 hour a week. And then here comes the big marathon. Am I going to be successful at it? No, I am not. It's a daily thing. It's, getting good sleep. It's, working on physically on myself. It's eating healthy. You got to work at it every day. And for some people, that's just not plausible. They are so fixed on what they do on a daily basis, whether it's kids, job, spending time with friends, watching TV, Netflix, you name it. It's pointless. But I promise you, you can start with less than $1,000 in this business and make a killing at it if you work it on a daily basis. I'm going to give you an example. From 9 till noon every day, prospect. That means either driving for dollars or going through foreclosure leads or tax delinquent leads or code violation leads or city leads or networking with folks that, wholesale properties or need your help buying properties. You got to do something. So whether you spend $50,000 or you spend $1,000, you can succeed or you can fail if you don't really get after it on a daily basis. So there's a lot of properties out there, different types, 2 stories, opulent, basic, little shacks. What I focus on is what my buyers want. Nobody cares what I want. And I'm telling you what they want is a good neighborhood, not a perfect, not high end, a good neighborhood, nice clean streets, near good schools, near highways, not on highways, not next to highways, but near them, like, within a mile of a major highway. The further you get away from highways, the harder it is to get through traffic. Anywho, quiet neighborhoods are a premium. Nice backyards are a premium. So I focus on lead sources where people are in trouble. I weed them out, and then I drive to the properties to confirm that they are vacant, because vacants are the gold mines in my industry. And then if it passes that test, or they're really run down, then and only then will I spend time trying to locate the owners or the heirs or family members. So I kind of break it down into like 3 or 4 parts. I don't go to step 2 until I'm fully happy with step 1. That is, on paper, does it make sense? None of this involves any sort of money. It's just time. That's what makes this an amazing career field. It doesn't really involve a lot of money. Now, a lot of you on the other side who are watching this, you're probably thinking, oh, I must have a lot of money if I want to get in real estate investing. You really don't. I think we've spoken on previous episodes where you can use other people's money, partners, hard money, line of credit. You can just put it under a contract and then assign that contract as long as you disclose. So you really don't need any money in real estate investing. Now, when you get to my level, it does help to have money. It does, but you don't need it. What I mean by it's advantageous is if you and I are competing for a property and you're saying, hey, I'll close the deal in 3 or 4 weeks. I need 3-week option period to see if this is worth pursuing, blah, blah, blah. Whereas if I say, hey, I really like this deal. I've done hundreds of deals, which I have. I'll close on the deal today. All cash. Come to my office. You sign a deed and we're done. It's huge. That's a huge advantage. But the reality is very few people are at my level. I'd say 98% of the people out there are in the, hey, let's put it under contract and then let's wholesale it, or let me get a hard money loan or get a joint venture partner. That's what most people do. So trust me, you're not at a disadvantage because you have no money. I can teach you everything about real estate investing. I can teach 100 people, including you, how to do this business. And I pretty much can tell you that 90% of them rarely would ever get off their butts. Okay? Fitness programs are out there. They all sell the same thing. Yet the hard part is getting people to get off their butts. Once somebody told me this funny story. How do you sell a head of lettuce that you buy for less than $1? How do you sell it for $5? You cut it up, put it in a bag, and you call it a salad. So whether it's real estate training for some folks or losing weight programs, it's really about effort. And if you don't do either one for anything in life, you're going to fail at this. So don't put such a priority on having a lot of money. You don't really need it. And the best bang for your properties is typically middle-class homes, or I like to say Target or Walmart type homes, because that's what my cash buyers want, and even my retail rehab buyers want. As always, thank you for watching. For more real estate investment and legal real estate content, please subscribe to our channel. Please follow me on social media, which you can find linked in the description below. Don't forget to visit thevictormaas.com, where you can register for coaching and my future events. To listen to the podcast, please search for The Victor Maas Real Estate Show wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, linked below. Until next time, this is Victor Maas, signing off. Take care.